Hello and welcome back to the Liminal Branch Library, the archive in the seams. I'm your Archivist and Librarian Mordio Crow, and our little virtual tabletop logged itself out. I'll log us in right now. Welcome back to RootRPG after a whole month of being off for various reasons. Certainly Nova and I in the library closing for a bit were a large portion of them. But we are back now, joined once again by the same set of 3 guests. Yes, that's right. This is not a rotating cast. It's the same cast as always. Starting right next to me, we have Nova playing as Miffy.
Hello.
And then in the middle, we have Hambone playing as Milo.
Much obliged.
And then down at the end, all the way over there, we have Amasha playing as Ember. And now, it's been a month. I'm sure everyone could use a bit of a review as to what happened since last time. And for that, we have our handy recap command, which I should probably add to the title in case anyone wanders in. Try recap. But give a more fully fledged one. Last time, our Vagabonds returned from the forest, where they had successfully completed a task for Marquis Decat, a case of intellectual property theft and physical property theft, I suppose, right?
Mm-hmm.
In which the party had, using forgery, directed the Riverfolk Company to deploy some of their printing presses and the instructions on how to assemble and how to use them, divert them down a dangerous path, and then the party became the danger on that path, with the Riverfolk Company's guards slaughtered, who certainly were not expecting to be turned on by the very people who sent them down this way. Party was able to turn these prototypes and information over to the Marquis, who in exchange provided the party with information on one of the captains being hunted by Miffy, as well as the promise that in perhaps another day or two's time, whenever the party's finished with their business in town, they should come see the Marquis about future work and about that other captain they were asking about. So, retiring to town, the party learned that, Jasper, Ember's brother, had come by looking for them at some point the night prior. Now, that wasn't too concerning, at least at first, but the longer the day stretched on and the further, and just continuing not to see anything of Jasper, party grew at least slightly more concerned, taking a brief interlude to do a shopping bit before investigating the last place that Jasper had gone off to investigate himself, the local theater.
Mm-hmm.
There they viewed a play of a serialized story that's being printed and distributed by the Riverfolk Company. They spoke to the author, as well as to 2 of the actors, a pair of rock doves. I say 2 of the actors, the only 2 actors who played all of the roles in the story. Returning to their inn-room that night, they found a mysterious missive stating that Jasper was to be moved not long from the time the letter was delivered, and that they must act quickly if they wished to find him. And so the party made their way back to the theater, sneaking by what few guards it has this early in the morning, or late at night, depending on your how you want to phrase it. And in a secret room in the depths of the theater, they found Ember's brother Jasper being interrogated by one of the very captains they seek. So, any questions? Get into the scene itself.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
All right. Perfect. So, to drill down into the details, when you found this secret passage and started venturing within, you heard the sounds of interrogation. You heard questions being asked. Questions that seemed like the captain was not particularly interested in Jasper himself, but the classic query of who he was working for. Now, unfortunately, due to the nature of this passage, opening it did create a bit of noise, and there's not really much of a place to hide, so upon opening it, both you and the captain and his grunt were essentially face to face. We now have a standoff between the three of you. Captain Oliver Ogden, a riverfolk mercenary, and I mean, I guess technically Jasper's here. I don't know if Jasper's part of the standoff. Jasper is not a good enough state to be part of the standoff, at least at the moment. Jasper looks relatively injured, has been here for what seems to be about 24 hours, probably without much to eat or drink. Is in the middle of being aggressively interrogated, we'll say.
Okay.
The riverfolk mercenary, neither the mercenary nor the captain have any weapons drawn, though the mercenary does have some on his belt. The captain appears to be unarmed, but the captain, Oliver Ogden, who is, I believe, let me double check right now, I believe an otter himself. Yes, brown fur, white belly, small set of glasses, and a very fancy-looking vest. Is sitting not far from where the interrogation is happening and is the one asking the questions. He looks to the suddenly open passage with the expression of someone who's not surprised to see it open, but is surprised when he sees who's on the other side.
Oh.
Do any of you have a particular intro you'd like to say, or does he get the conversational initiative?
Do we want to give this guy the time of day, or do we just want to like cause chaos and like get Jasper?
Anyone got pocket sand?
It's a theater. There are sandbags everywhere, so
It's true.
if we want to cause a little chaos, we can all reach in. Well, at least I can reach into some sand and use confused senses. Or do we actually want to like talk to this dude?
It's up to Ember.
I'll follow along. I don't really have much.
I'm looking at what I have pocket sand. I'm trying to see how far away they need to be. Pocket sand. Take the weapon skill Confuse Senses. When you throw something to confuse an opponent's senses at close or intimate range, roll with cunning instead of finesse. How close are they?
So I would say you're probably just outside of close, right? I picture it like a very short hallway between you and them. It would not take much for you to cross that gap, but if you're just rushing across it with intent to throw sand, that does give them a little bit of time to react to it, right? If you find a way to cross it without overt aggression, then you might have the element of quick pocket sand surprise. But that would require you to, plausibly do so in a non-threatening or at least minimally threatening manner.
Okay, I want to survey this room they're in. Do I need to read a 10 situation?
It depends on what you're looking for. What are you trying to survey exactly? Like, you're trying to...
Is there any, this is a theater, right? Is there any, rigging or curtain work above them just hanging there all precarious-like?
Good question. Alright. So for that part, you don't need to roll, because opening this little side passage and seeing what's behind it, this is a very... this room looks like it was built for almost exactly what it's being used for, imprisoning individuals, and not to be a side theater storage room. You did find it via secret passage, after all. Now, the room behind you has such tooling and other, hodgepodge of equipment, though I believe it was more of like a changing room, writer's room, than it was like a storage room, but such things always bleed into one another, right? So there's certainly stuff behind you, but not so much above them. The room they're in is a little bit more sparse.
Is there room for Ember to run at her brother?
Just run in? Yes, though certainly if you do, there is a mercenary right beside him who would be positioned to stop or otherwise impede you. Depending on your manner of approach, of course.
All right, no thinking here. Ember is going to give a yelp, run towards her brother, and then as she gets closer, abruptly turn and throw sand in the captain's face.
Are we sure we want to...
All right.
I think we should at least focus on the grunt first, because from what I remember, this captain guy is kind of a nerdlinger, so I don't think he's going to be much of a threat. I could be wrong. So I feel like we should knock the guard out first.
I leave that to you. I have no thoughts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, technically speaking, Ember, you have the final say if you're the one running in, but you are free to strategize using the invisible psychic language of player characters to decide what you want to do, to a point. Eventually, I'll rush you along if this takes too long, but...
If you can, I'm pretty sure Ember is readable to you guys, so if you can nudge her in a certain direction or make your argument quickly, she could be influenced.
Targets.
I embrace the chaos.
Yeah. That was... Yeah. I'm going to say, while Ember does that, I'm going to do improvise to see if I can find, like a short-range weapon, because all I have is a crossbow, and we're in close quarters.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
In that case, it seems like we're going immediately into action, right? I'm imagining Ember's starting to run in. There's like a half beat for Ember to get there and then start throwing the pocket sand before Miffy and Milo spring into violence. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay, Miffy, just so I know for my own purposes, does that mean you're going to be lunging forward the moment Ember's movement changes? And if so, where are you rushing?
So there's the mercenary by
You know what?
by Jasper, and then the other one is
Not far away. You know what? I can draw this.
that would be nice.
I have
Thank
the
you.
ability to draw,
The power of images!
right? So let's just drag the three of you. Oh, whoa! I accidentally double embered there. Right.
Quick, double Ember Mirage
All right.
from
Let's
the
see.
DMCs.
So we've got you know what? Let me make these a little smaller. Just scale's not perfect. Scale's not perfect, but you know what? We're just gonna say this is close enough, right? This is for illustrative purposes, not for you know, tactical purposes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then in the other room, we have our... We have our captain, our Why is the mercenary so small? Mercenary's so tiny.
Easy.
Oh, you know what? I think... There we go. There we go. Bigger. And then I'll need us a representative for Jasper. Let me grab... Oh my god, and Jasper's huge.
Oh my god, he's giant.
But these need our help then.
Oh, now too small. But you know what? We get the point here, right? We get the idea of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put him back to a little bit more reasonable side, so it doesn't look like we're rescuing a child here. But there we go. That's close enough. Right. So here's the general scene. The general layout, right? So Jasper's kind of between the two of them. The guard being close to Jasper. A passageway that's maybe just big enough for for two people shoulder by shoulder, but it would be a little bit of a squeeze. Not too much so, but that's the full length of it. Doesn't appear to be any other exits. Not that it's too relevant. It might be relevant later, but there is like a cell or similar, here at the bottom. I'll put little markers. Oops. Which it looks like that's where Jasper was being kept, but is currently removed and just like out on a stool, being interrogated. So, if I'm understanding correctly, we're going to have, let's do our sports ball type lines here. Ember's going in to around here, where she will pocket sand someone. Then a half beat later, Milo's going to grab an improvised something and then come back to use it. And Miffy is also going in, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll be going in between the otter and Jasper.
All right, sounds good. Miffy, I assume you're going in with intent for violence, yes?
That's the plan. Do we have an element of surprise? Does that mean I can use Vicious Strike or no?
I think the distance between the door opening and where you are at, any element of surprise will be mostly used on just crossing the distance without them, shifting their priority, right? Like, it's not like you snuck up behind them, so I'm going with a no there.
What, did we fail our sneak rolls or something?
I don't recall. It's been too long.
There's evidence here.
Attempt a roguish feat. We've got 7 to 9s, and then we've got a trust.
I think it was
feat.
to go into the building.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was to go into the building. I think this just opened up, and there wasn't really much of a sneak to be done.
All right, fair. All right, that's fine. In which case, I'll let the first person go then.
Yeah, first person to move will be Ember. So Ember, you rush through. The look of, again, the captain not necessarily seeming surprised that the door opened, just at who was on the other side. As you rush forward and pivot to hurl your pocket sand, who are you throwing it towards?
Who's closer to Jasper?
That would be the mercenary, the guard here. That's the one who's currently holding Jasper down. Like got Jasper by like the shoulder or something at the moment.
Am I close enough to pocket send him?
Yeah, so we'll say, so you rush in. At first looking, at least first looking concerned, but then quickly pivoting. So you can throw your pocket sand. He's reaching for his weapon, which is on his belt as you approach, but you can make your confuse senses roll.
I have a question to Ember. Are we trying to just get him out of here? Is that the primary goal?
That's her primary goal.
Okay,
but
then I don't have to finish anyone off is really what I want to know.
The captain here is one that Miffy knows, however.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. Ember doesn't know that you know this guy.
This specific guy, what's his relation again to me?
Oliver Ogden was the...
Oh, he's the bookkeeper.
Yeah, the bookkeeper, right?
Okay, I remember now. Yes, yeah.
You've only met him a handful of times, but he was there on that night.
The night.
Yes, he was the one. He was the one who was keeping a close eye on what was being done during the mission, making sure the right information was being moved and shifted and claimed. Right.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry. Continue, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Amber is going and trying to get her brother out.
All right. Go for it. Make your roll.
Trying to find my mouse. There it is.
I'm right here.
Funny.
Cunning.
Ooh, strong hit.
Yeah.
So Ember, you rush in. The mercenary Mercenary draws his blade from his belt, but the moment he begins to bring it up to brandish it, the pocket sand gets him right in the eyes, and the blade scatters along the floor instead of being swung towards you. I assume you're grabbing Jasper and just trying to book it, right?
Yep.
All right. So now I want the 2 simultaneous rolls from Milo and Miffy. These 2 will play out roughly the same time.
Okay.
Milo, you make your improvise roll.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very nice. And now Miffy, you can go engage in melee.
Okay. When I get up into melee, I want to say, "Hey, bitch!" And then where's engage? What? Hello, engage in melee. I see it now.
There you go.
Oop.
All right, weak hit. All right, so on a strong hit, Milo, you are able to improvise a weapon. I imagine, given what you were saying about sandbags earlier and such, right? Maybe you're able to find some sturdy quality cabling and very quickly loop it around a prop to turn it into a sling, and you can fire smaller sandbags or prop ones used to keep up use something that's used to keep up a piece of cardboard or something in the background, right? So you scoop up a bunch of those, quickly turn a cable around a prop, make it into a sling.
I was thinking something just smaller, just like a coil of rope or wire that I can Simon Belmont.
Oh, I see. I thought you were trying to do like a ranged weapon with projectiles.
I already have a ranged one. I need something for Chris.
Yeah, a whip-like thing would work similarly, right? You take some heavy metal prop, attach it to one of these sturdy cables.
Yeah,
sure,
like a flail.
Yeah!
Alright.
Like I find a disused pulley with the rope still jammed in, and I start swinging it around my head.
Alright, so on a weak hit, Miffy, you trade harm and choose one. So which of your choices would you like to pick?
Can I suffer little harm?
You can suffer little harm.
So
Right.
does that mean I just don't do?
So you'll find out
anything?
how much harm he does in a second. So how much harm do you do with your weapon?
Oh, let's see. My needle knife does. Oh, this is all flavor text. Where's my?
I know you're cool. Tell me how much.
It's just one. It's just one harm.
Oh, it's just one?
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. No, it says mark where when inflicting harm with this weapon to inflict one additional harm. Where is it?
Okay, I think it's probably just then that you do one, and then if you want to mark where, you can do an additional one, if you'd like.
Okay, no, I'm okay.
Alright. So, Miffy, we get this, very quick, cutting between quick motion and slow motion as the party members scramble to grab their different things. Miffy, what did you say again?
Hey, bitch.
There's, as you say that and rush in, inflicting your one harm, that look of surprise becomes a calm expression, the same sort you witnessed him with before. And he gives "Oh, you're still alive," and reaches towards one of his vest pockets where there's a golden chain. He tugs on it. So, Miffy, you take less harm. However, he has the ability Deadly Ambush. So he would deal 4 harm to you. You take 1 less. You take 3.
What the hell?
Of this, 2 of this is injury and 1 is exhaustion as he pulls the chain.
Oh, I already did that.
And a loud bang erupts through the enclosed space of the theater. There's a flash of light, and Miffy, you're kicked back a little bit by it. But
How dare he flashbang me?
Milo, you have your weapon ready, but I think we want to focus first on Ember. You're trying to get Jasper away, right?
Yep.
So let me drag. You and Jasper start sliding backwards with the mercenary behind you, scrambling. I think he's going to try to lunge to grab the prisoner first before going for his weapon, right? So, Ember, you see him, like, wiping the sands out of his eyes. He can only really half see. You've got Jasper out of his grip. Jasper's, like, stumbling to his feet, starting to go. What do you do to interfere with your pursuer? Or do you have a way, or do you just gun it? You just, like nope, we're just running for it.
How long can I have a weapon. Will it take more than one turn for me to use it?
There's not really turns in the strict sense. So like if
Right.
you want to like draw your weapon and like spin Jasper behind you, right? Like do
I
like
have
one
a
of these.
collapsible spear.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to pull that out and just press the button in the direction of what is he? Mercenary? Yeah. Sharp end.
Is the intent to harm or to ward off / intimidate?
Intimidate, but if he runs into it, he runs into it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so let's see. Give me a. I want to say it's probably either persuade or trick in this case, whichever one you prefer. Right, whether it's tricking it with the misdirection of having them only pop up. You're probably more trick, but doesn't. I think you're the same for both in terms of stats. So.
Okay, so it's trick or what was the other one? Persuade?
I think just trick.
Yeah. Okay. No!
Mm.
Oh,
All right. So you take the spear, and it expands out. Now you were using it a little bit when you first got it, but it is the first time you're wielding it under pressure. And so when you bring it out and extend it, it goes wide, giving him the opportunity to sort of like do the hand on the side of the spear and then push himself forward. So Jasper is behind you, but he's managed to close the distance, and he grabs onto you, right, to try to keep you and Jasper from getting away. So he lunges, has one hand on the spear, one hand on you. Milo, your improvised weapon's ready. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and like lasso or Bolaro around the neck of the otter.
Okay, all right. So you're going to you're trying to harm the otter, right? Like,
Yeah. Could I, since it's like a flail, do you think I can like it has range, so maybe I can use it with a grapple, or do I have to be closer?
it depends on what you want to do. Like, if you slide up into the hallway a little bit, I think you're in range to hit. Do you want to when you grapple enemy? So I think grapple is specifically for like wrestling grapple. Like when I'm taking a look at it now, it's about two people who are actually, it's supposed to be people wrestling, right? Because you do two things to each other, right? When you grapple someone, your opponent can do things to you. But I think you can grapple at range in this case, and if he's doing stuff to you, it's because he's tugging on the rope, and right, you either have to give it up or let him go. So, yeah. So we can grapple if your intent is to restrain, engage in melee if your intent is to harm.
Okay, so each of them would be might, which I don't have the best with. Trade harm. Impress. If you're ranged one step. Okay, you know what? I'd also like to just take this time to remind us that we all have our piece of Rising Falling Star, where if we're unhappy...
rerolls.
Yeah, be careful about relying on stars, though, Stardust. Could go quite wrong.
Milo decides to loop back and try again.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm
Exactly.
going to go for engage in melee.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Well, fuck it, why not? I'm
Alright.
going to do Rising Star and roll again, and whatever happens, happens.
All right, sounds good.
Well, everyone say goodbye to Milo.
Goodbye. Oh no! It was meant to be. It was meant to be. It's okay. Our priority is getting him out of here.
Yeah, the priority is getting Jasper out of here. And this mercenary is earning his paycheck. Milo, you go in to try to lash at the mercenary, and he's already got the one arm on the spear, right? He lets go of the spear, lets the improvised whip go around his arm, like grabs it and tugs, and he's too swift for you to even have the option to move away before he drags you into the melee as well. And he still has your whip like around his arm, so you're like up close next to him.
You know what? If that gets me closer to the action, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you do also take his harm from this, so you take 1 exhaustion and 1 injury from him.
Okay.
Takes his what?
You take the harm that he inflicts.
Oh boy, I'm at full exhaustion.
Ooh,
I am so close to it too.
Let me check real quick.
Guys, I should have taken a nap before we went in.
Oh, important thing to note, something that I don't think we've been remembering in fights last time, though. If you have anything that's armor-like, armor-ish on your character, you can mark wear on that instead of taking...
Well, isn't that only some things, or is that all of them?
It's for some, technically speaking, it's for some things, but most weapon-based harm can be absorbed.
Okay, because I know I can do that on my cloak. I don't know if I can do that on my armor.
I mean, that's what armor is for,
because it doesn't explicitly say.
I believe armor is explicitly for doing it.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Keep that in mind for both of you. Miffy, feel free to apply some to your armor instead of yourself, since we did just...
Yeah, I might end up doing that.
I'm checking right now to see if the box is being full or getting pushed over is what causes the consequence. I believe it's when you get pushed over.
Okay.
But I'm double checking that right now.
What happens when you're at full exhaustion?
Let's see.
You have to start taking injury, right?
Let's see. 3 harm tracks. Harm passed. Alright. If you're full, if all of your exhaustion is marked, you're fine. If you take another exhaustion after this, you are wiped out on the door of collapsing entirely. You can move and act, but you cannot push yourself further without risk of utter collapse or unconsciousness. So basically, there's a lot of moves that say mark exhaustion to do this. A lot of things where you need to mark exhaustion to move them. If your exhaustion is completely full, you can no longer do anything like that. But you really can't push yourself too hard, right? Anything that requires exhaustion, you can't spend.
Okay, so...
It's not the worst one to have full.
Okay, I'll just keep that. Like, oh god, this is what being injured's like? It sucks.
You've never been injured before?
No, I have the hands of a musician, not a killer.
Miffy, in front of you, after your big old mouse ears ringing from the explosion. Although honestly, probably anyone with a hearing...
anyone who can hear.
Anyone who can hear, which does raise some concern about the fact that there were guards in the theater, right? Like, outside the theater.
Are they their guards?
They're company guards. This is a company-owned property.
Oh, okay.
But, now, whether they were privy to this exact interrogation, who knows? But they probably just heard that, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Miffy, after that shot, though, your senses return to you, and the captain in front of you is fixing his vest.
Do I know his tricks? Do I know if he can do that again?
You do not know his tricks because you saw him being extremely calm under pressure, but he did not fight last time. He was extremely calm, very self-assured. However, you do know that if he does have those tricks, this time you're expecting them. But he's certainly a lot more of a threat than his nerdy demeanor would have otherwise.
Yeah, you can't be a nerd and dangerous.
You can't be a nerd and a jock.
A jerd?
You can't be a jerd or a knock.
Can't do a class like that.
Miffy, you can see to your side both of your companions being restrained by the mercenary. You hear the shot ringing out. You know it's not long until the other guards get here. You have a bit, but like Jasper's not going to be able to move fast, and you can see Milo's already getting exhausted.
Yeah. Can I?
So what area they would be coming in this way?
Yep, that's the only entrance.
And there was no door.
Here, I'll draw a little bit more for you.
I'll just confine you in a little bit more.
Let me change the color back. So, and actually, I'll get rid of our. We don't need our war plans anymore.
Yeah.
Now that we actually have executed. All right. Let me. So, oops. So hard just to draw and not
move.
There we go. All right, let's go stuff. Basically, there was a big old thing that moved out of the way that was blocking the path, and that's why you couldn't really stealth, because big old thing moving out from in front of the doorway.
What's big old thing? What is big old thing?
I believe it was a bookshelf, but I did not rewatch the last VOD. It might have been a desk or something of a similar ilk.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I wreck something to destroy that object so it's difficult terrain to move into here?
To move out of here?
No. Wait, is this the only exit? Sorry,
that's the only
my
exit.
bad.
That's where you guys would have to go to.
We have to go. Okay.
I mean,
then instead, there's curtains, right?
Curtains?
Are there no curtains? What's this thing?
That's like a prison cell type setup.
Oh, it's a cell. Okay.
We're gonna hide behind the curtains until.
All right. Can I circle around and try to just full on shove this guy into the prison?
Oh, sure. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah.
Roll. I think this would probably just be might. Let me look at if grapple relates to shoving in this. I know grapple relates to shoving in some things.
After I make this move, by the way, I'm gonna put away Skittle.
Okay, sounds good. Just roll might for me.
All right.
Strong hit. You circle around.
Good.
The shot still ringing in your ears. You can see his eyes tracking your blade like he's getting ready for your next stab. But that is what distracts him from... Are you like kicking him, or is it like a shoulder check shove?
I'm full on shoulder checking him and just trying to run him as far as I can into the prison cell.
You give him a solid shove, and I'd say on a strong hit, you're able to throw him back there. Now, of course, the door's still open, but you've disengaged with him for the moment, buying yourself some time to go put the bird away.
All right, great. Do that right now.
Okay.
All right. While Miffy's going and doing that, having temporarily removed the captain from the equation, the guard who has the both of you is going to try to do the classic villain minion thing of taking the two of you and colliding you together, right?
The double noggin knocker.
Yeah, so he's trying to like grab both of you and like slam you against one another. Milo, you're pretty exhausted. Ember, I imagine you're preoccupied with Jasper, but you both can feel yourself being lifted up a bit. What are you doing in this moment? Are you trying to get a hit in? Are you trying to slip free? What's your...
I'm gonna try and confuse senses. Amber, what's your play?
You know when somebody's trying to move you and you just do a dead body flop?
Yes. Jasper sees this and is like, he's doing it. All that training we've done.
She's just gonna let her whole body weight suddenly just go boom. And she still has the spear, and she'll probably try to like retract it at the same time.
I mean, can we double up on a specific move if we roll good?
If I did ask you as a pair what you were doing, if you both are trying to be as theoretically confusing as possible, then yes, you could make a single confused senses roll with the opportunity of one of you helping the other. Right, just for an example. But if there's something else you want to do, as a team.
I was gonna be like, we just grab on the sides of the mace and the spear that we have, and we pull back on him and we like wishbone him. Or is that too much?
He's got a hold of me physically.
All right, let's confuse senses.
All right.
Let's go!
So in this case, we probably want Milo to lead because Milo cannot mark exhaustion to help this roll, whereas I believe Ember still can.
Yep.
Okay.
That would be my assumption, unless Ember has a higher finesse. But
My finesse is -1.
all right, never mind. We definitely want Milo leading this roll.
All right.
Today on
Wrong.
oh no.
Oh god. Jasper had better become our just pack mule and lackey after this.
How can I help?
Yeah.
Like, what is...
So the way helping works is, if Milo had gotten a 6, you could have marked exhaustion to make it a weak hit. If Milo had gotten a 9, you could have marked exhaustion to make it a strong hit. Because Milo got a 5, unfortunately there's no helping here. I suppose, if I wanted to be generous, I could allow you to also use your rising falling star here. But
If I was a merciful GM.
if I was a merciful GM, I could allow that. But I would note that with one failure having already put you in this situation and Milo already not doing great, a second failure might be especially bad. So
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. Sorry. That was a mistake. You can drop that.
Yeah, you cannot merely re-roll. You must invoke the star first.
I'm sorry, I was trying to drop down the menu.
Yeah. That's up to you, Ember, if you want to use the star here to try to give yourselves a better opportunity, or if you want to hope that Miffy can carry you through whatever is about to happen to the two of you. Probably some more, blunt force trauma, but
I can take more injury.
All right.
Hit me!
Okay, Ember, could you?
I want you to hit me.
Can you pay our tab, Ember? I think I'm gonna go for a Constitution while I kind of like slump over.
Like Ember, you try going limp, and Milo, you try. What was it you were trying to do as your part of confusing?
I was gonna clap him around the ears with my little vestigial arms, but he just headbutts me.
Yeah, you put your arms up there, headbutts you. Then swings you into Ember like you're a melee weapon, right? Just boom. So,
oh yeah, I'm on the ropes. Let's get him.
So I'll inflict an injury on each of you as you are used against one another. Jasper's catching his breath. He does not look great, but he's turning his head over his shoulder, trying to figure out if there's any way he can assist with what's happening behind him. Miffy, you've had some mild success. You see your companions literally being bashed around by the mercenary. What are you doing?
Oh.
It'd be so funny if Miffy also misses this and the mercenary just grapples all three of you.
No way.
Collar on me and Ember, and then he grabs Miffy in a leg lock.
Can I push him too?
Okay, you're trying to also push him. All right. Sounds good. You're trying to just throw him in the cell.
Yeah. And with any luck, he'll crash into this bozo.
Get a strong hit and it might just happen.
All right, let's go.
Miffy.
Oh!
Can I do anything to make that a strong by 1?
No, unfortunately.
Oh.
You would need a +2 to get a strong. Strong is 10 or higher anyway, which is part of why
it's 10 or higher? My bad. I thought it was 9.
I'd say on a weak hit, you're able to throw him into the doorway, and as a part of that, he loses his grip on both Milo and Ember's weapons, freeing them.
Okay, well, we should just run.
Team, I was going to say, you have a beat.
Well,
Someone needs to grab Milo.
Does someone want to maybe slam the door on them?
Can you not? Do you have a turn to do that? I don't know.
It's not really turns. I'm giving you guys a beat. If you try to slam the door on them, you might run the risk of the mercenary just grabbing you by the arm. That's
Nope.
Let's just go.
I'm getting out of that grip as soon as I can. I was gonna bite him next.
All right, let's.
Wait, hold on. Is there a? Oh wait, I guess my turn is tech over, kind of, right? No, we have a beat.
Yeah.
So can I? Oh no, I wish there was like an opposite of disable device. Like, can I activate device?
I mean, you can run out and close the secret passage, assumedly. That's only going to buy you a couple seconds, but...
No, we need to just go. We need to go.
All right.
Vamos!
All right.
If we can close the door, or, the secret door behind us, that'd be cool, but...
Yeah, I mean, that part you can do. I don't think it takes a dramatic amount of time. I forget, I want to say it was a book, one of the classic, book levers, but maybe it was a hidden drawer in the desk. Either way, you know where it was. It hasn't been a month for your characters since this happened, so you know where it is. You know where the trigger is, and you know how to do it. Let me see now. I think this came up once before. Is just fleeing a roguish feat, or is that something else? Yeah, there's no get out of dodge. Which honestly, I feel like that probably should be a roguish feat. The sprinting. How about sprinting? Right?
Travel along escape.
Travel along escape. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I think what I'm going to have here instead is I will have us. Here's what we're going to do. You all are going to start running, and you're going to, I assume, you're just making your way for the exits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let
before
you
I leave, though, I do say, bye, bitch!
I'm not owned! I'm not owned!
So, I'm going to let you guys choose your approach to fleeing. You can group up or split up as you like, though do note that if you split up and roll poorly, that might mean your friends can't help you. But if you try to stay together, that means you do all have to do the same approach, right? So if you're knocking things over, climbing up into the catwalks, darting through back rooms, weaving through costumes or things like that.
We all put on a costume.
We'll probably roll trick. Oh yeah. You hide in the costume as someone rushes by, right? Then we're rolling trick and NPC, right?
We'll really do a Scooby-Doo here.
If you want to really Scooby-Doo it,
with a lot of doors.
If you really want to Scooby-Doo it, we're tricking an NPC, right?
Let's see here.
If you want to brute force your way through, with probably Miffy in the front, someone in the front, just kicking doors down. If a guard crosses your path, just bowling them over. We're gonna roll wrecking something, which is more for objects than it is for plowing a path through the place. But we're gonna count it in this moment. And if you have some other approach you'd like to describe to me, please do let me know. But those are the two that pop into my brain immediately.
I think we should just barrel through everything. Just get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
No, Miffy!
I'm gonna wreck it!
All right, Miffy. Miffy, roll your wreck something. Anyone from the party can assist. Well, I guess Milo can't, so Ember could theoretically assist with this if needed.
Yes, once.
Yes, once.
Okay, why am I having such a hard time finding everything?
It is under basic moves, the very last one.
Moves. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I don't know why. No!
Well, this is the one where Ember can, in fact, mark exhaustion to assist you to bring it up to a 7.
Okay.
We gotta bring it to a 7. We gotta.
Yeah, this is the only time I can help you, though.
Yep.
Done.
All right. So here's what bringing up to a 7 means, right? 7 to 9, you seriously break it. It can't be used again until it's repaired. You're imprecise and dangerous. You cause collateral damage, attract attention, or end up in a bad spot. GM's choice. So here's what happens. You're breaking your way through the theater, kicking down doors, making your way through passages. You knock aside one of the guards. And as you burst out of a door, as you burst out of the door of a doorway, right? Guards drawn by the sound are approaching the theater, and you go out the doorway, and you're right at the front where the big lights shine on the decorative front portion of the theater.
The marquee.
And so
the marquee, not the marquee.
Yeah, the marquee, not the marquee of the theater. And anyone who's awake right now, which and looking this way, which granted is mostly riverfolk mercenaries, anyone looking at can see clearly all of your features. The four of you are now. We'll say that your identities are well known for what just transpired here.
I mean, hold on. Let me see. I'm wearing my unassuming ascot. So, I mean, I don't know what signature is, but I mean, they don't see me as any more of a threat than them. But what does signature do again?
Let me take that look for one. Let's see. So the thing is, unassuming, just that only applies until you do something to otherwise, right? Like that stops functioning the moment that you take action. Signature means
I'm just going for a walk. I don't know what you're talking about.
You cannot do that again.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit impossible in the moment right here.
Yeah.
So signature means whenever you earn prestige or notoriety while showing this item, you mark 1 additional prestige or notoriety.
Okay.
And Miffy, your danger mask means that you double any prestige or you double any notoriety you gain.
Can I take this opportunity to laugh maniacally?
You know what, Miffy? Yes, you can take this opportunity to laugh maniacally.
Okay, cool. It's probably gonna get cut off by Discord, but you know.
Yeah, it 100% got eaten by Discord.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Here, you know what? After this, record it, and then I'll edit it into the VOD in post.
Okay, cool. I'll definitely remember to do that.
And also send me that too, so I can add to my soundboard.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All right.
So we -1 reputation.
Oh yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. Because you succeeded on the wreck something, I'm not going to make you roll again for all the people who just saw you. What I'm going to say is, we're gonna mark a minus. See, this is actually very funny. So, Ember, I'm gonna have you mark -1 to the Riverfolk Company because they witnessed you performing what they will later find out is a breaking and entering type stuff and association with your brother for the crime. You take a -1. Milo, because of your signature, or rather not -1, you mark 1 box, right? Milo, because you have your signature item and are thus exceptionally noteworthy with the Riverfolk Company, you tick 2 additional boxes. And I see on yours that you have 3 boxes full.
I think that's just to give me the -1. I think it was to get me to the -1 that's circled right now.
Okay. So when you get the -1, you erase all of the other ones. Yeah. So now you're
like right here.
Yep. So you'll be at 2.
Okay.
And then Miffy, yours is doubled, so you get the original 1, and then you double it for +2. Well, I think for the maniacal laughter, you probably deserve a 3rd one. That would be
yeah.
So you can mark 3 boxes of notoriety with the Riverfolk Company.
So does that mean I'm here or
yes?
What is that?
One more.
Wow.
So you stay at the -1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
All right. But the 4 of you are able to escape into the alleys, but you know that Riverfolk Company guards are going to be on the lookout for you very soon, which means that especially when it comes to traversing between the different parts of the city where you have to travel on open water, you're going to need to be playing it a lot more safely over the course of your stay here. Where do you go for now?
I mean, I have an idea of where.
We have.
So we're stuck in an alleyway right now, waiting for guards to pass, and Milo's just kind of slumped inside a barrel as they're hiding. He goes, "I think we need to talk to the Marquis."
So what? To house us?
We gotta pull some strings. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we gotta get off the streets.
We
they
can't
like
just go back
you,
to
Miffy and Ember, and I don't know about me, but we gotta at least try.
You were saying that you wanted to go back to the inn? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, to the Marquis, to the cats.
The Marquis,
no, I'm Ember is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. To, at the very least, pick up our stuff, but I assume that since it's such a, they're very under the table kind of vibe, I figure we can at least, catch a nap, maybe?
I mean, from the impression you got from the way they were talking about, the owners were talking about Jasper, you don't think they would throw you under the bus, but you also don't think they could stop the company if they came, knocking down doors for you. But that should you get the impression they would at least do the. We must insist that you at least notify our guests before barging in their rooms, right? Like, raised voice, draw their attention to it that way, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
let us back. We might have to boogie when the heat's on.
That's fine. I just think we need to get someplace quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Milo starts heading off in the completely wrong direction. Let's get going.
Yeah, as you start.
All right, buddy. Let's go this way. How about we go this way?
All right, Miss Mouse Lady.
As you're saying that, as you're all starting to stumble off that direction, Jasper mutters mostly to Ember, but audible enough for anyone to hear. Just says, they might check the inn. Those damn birds. That's where they found me.
Birds? Wait a minute. Birds?
Dubs or no?
What? Wait a minute.
Jasper?
Yeah, he
Is that who you're working
nods.
for?
He nods.
Fucking birds.
Those pigeons.
All right.
He winces.
Yeah. Good news, they feel a little bit guilty enough to tip us off. Bad news, they're still there. Not there, but they're around. Okay, fine. Go.
Yeah, when you say they felt guilty to tip you off, maybe that means they wouldn't tell the company where you're staying. Who knows? But that's what Jasper's worried about. But you're welcome.
I mean, I think we could certainly just what's actually at the inn.
Your stuff, Jasper's stuff.
Yeah, but what's our stuff? Am I not just carrying around everything I have anyway?
You are carrying around most things, honestly. If anything you're missing, it's probably food.
Depletion. Yeah.
Yeah, depletion type stuff. But, that's the kind of thing I would mark on you if you choose not to go get it. You are allowed to go there. Jasper's just expressing the information as he knows about the world.
All right, how about this? One of us will go in a disguise.
Ooh.
Ember,
Yes.
you seem like someone who would like wearing a disguise? I don't know.
Yes! You are correct. Maybe
Alright.
tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow then. You'll pick it up. Right now, I think the marquee is a good idea. We'll go to the marquee. Yeah, you want to go to the marquee, big guy? Talking to Milo.
Yeah.
You want to go see the kitty cats?
I'll see the Marky Mark. All right.
All right, cool.
Hold
Let's
on.
go there.
I hand Miffy my hat. You might need to keep this in your hand when you talk to them. They need to know it's dire straits.
Sure, buddy. I put it on my head.
It's like a hat in hand. Because we're gonna be basking a favor.
Yeah, just lay down. In the boat.
Oh, sure. All right, we'll do that.
All right. I'm gonna.
Very
That's
important
it.
Okay,
question.
and try not to fall asleep, buddy. You might have a concussion.
It's not percussion. It's a woodwind. Don't worry. He knows.
Okay.
He nods off.
No.
Oh no.
Just just like pat him. Come on. All right.
All right.
All right, wake up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
So not-
Okay.
Not to needle you all while you're down, but are you stealing a boat or are you hiring one? Because typically you would hire someone. The Marquis been covering your back and forth this far, but it's not like they knew in advance you're going to rush back to them. And it's also early in the morning.
Can you only travel by boat?
But yes, you are on the wrong side of the river here, and it moves relatively
no.
quickly. If you're a confident swimmer,
side of the river here.
yeah, if you're a confident
pretty
swimmer,
noble.
then maybe you could.
They have
swim across.
no walkways at all.
Nope.
They don't have a scenic
There
route.
used to be a bridge, but the Riverfolk Company, the people who own all the boats, got rid of it.
Oh no! It's just like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
So it
All right,
like
I
the
have
town,
the
the
We're
town
stealing
looks
a boat,
something. The town looks something like this, right? With in a brighter color. In a brighter color, right? We have a part of the town here, a part of the town here, and a part of the town here. So you use boats to get between the 3 parts of town.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, then yeah, we're stealing a boat.
All right.
We can just. I mean, can't we pay for one?
But that's owned by the company.
Are all of them?
All river travel's owned by the company.
I mean, technically speaking, not literally every boat, but yeah, if you're getting a ferry, probably most of the ferry folk are on the company payroll. Now, do they know that you are currently a threat? It's only been about 20 minutes. Word probably hasn't spread that fast. But you better hope that they don't remember your features if they're asked about you later. Right?
Okay. Can we see if there's like a non-ferry boat owner around us?
Here's what you can do. If you're trying to pay, get someone to pay, or pay for a boat, what you do is you roll with charm. And on a strong hit, you can have fast, cheap, and discreet. On a weak hit, you don't get all 3 of those. And on a miss, the only boats available will be company boats.
Hooray!
I got a plus charm.
Do it. Do it.
Please.
Who could say no?
Yay!
There we go.
Nice.
Strong hit. All right. You managed to find a fisher who's, or maybe not a fisher, maybe like someone who harvests cabbages or like the skunk cabbages or something, who's getting ready to head out in the early morning light when it's quiet, and make your case. So you're able to find something, and he's heading that direction. So you're able to hop on the boat. You pay a token amount of coinage to the point where it doesn't even like mark a value, because it's just like a handful of like, oh, I'm heading that way anyway for a few coins. So you hand over a few small denomination coins, and you are taken on your way to the marquee, where you are delivered successfully. Hooray!
Hey.
When they hit when they tie it up to the dock on the other side, Milo just flops out and lands in the shallows.
Oh, buddy, you're wet. That's not a good area to fall into. All right, buddy.
This is someone who's just like worked out for the first time in like 2 years. And, like maybe got a blister, and this is the way they're acting.
So upon arriving in the marquee controlled quarter of town, the guard there approach you. Certainly it's odd to be arriving at 4 a.m. And
We were drinking. Shut up. Don't look at us.
you were drinking,
Yeah, look at
and
it.
thus you arrive at the Marquee Embassy at 4 a.m.
I mean, Jasper also looks beat up. So
Jasper also looks beat up. So what this is, I don't know if Milo was intentionally referring to it earlier, probably was. This is going to be an ask for a favor move. It's under the reputation moves. What you do is you roll with a plus equal to your relation to the faction.
we have a +1 plus. Does the check boxes mean anything in this
No, the
case?
check boxes do not mean anything in this case.
Oh, okay.
So whoever wants to be the one to roll and make this appeal and state exactly what you're looking for. I assume at minimum medical treatment, but probably more than that. It sounds like you probably want a place to at least lay low for a couple days.
That's like the minimum we're looking for, honestly.
Yeah, lay low, some medical treatment.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I've got a +1. Does everyone else, or is that just me?
I have a +1 to charm, and then of course our reputation gives us a +1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think basically
So that's
everyone's
+2.
at +1. So
So it's you two. I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm
You have
like,
no charm?
we're not rolling charm. We're rolling
it's
the
not charm, it's
reputation only.
reputation.
Oh, reputation only? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Also, I'm not very charming right now, so.
It's called pity.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
if
you
that
kind
was
of
the way
are
to
in a
do it,
pathetic kind of way.
Make my brood mother proud.
All right. I think
Okay.
probably makes sense for Ember to roll it, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yes. How do I roll that?
I think if you click the thumbs up, like there's like a, I guess it's more
Yeah,
of a
that should just do
hitchhiking
it.
thumb, right? I think that'll give you the option to give a +1. If it doesn't, then we can add the +1 in post.
Where's the die?
If you scroll down to ask for a favor to the left of it, there should be a little speech bubble and then a little hitchhiking thumbs up looking thing that if you mouse over, I think.
Oh, in there. Okay. I see the +1 area.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Wrong hit.
Hooray!
Good job.
All right, let me take a
We
look
get
now.
what we want.
All right, so in this case, the Marquis, Ember, how do you make your appeal? Like, what's, how does Ember phrase this? How does Ember look like as she's asking for shelter and aid?
I'm gonna blame the company. What do you think?
Damn.
It's like the company did this to us. Please give us a place to hide and recover for a few days. Right? Like that's
Basically,
all right.
like I could put more details into the appeal, but that's the essence of it.
All right. So I'm thinking. I'm thinking what they'll do is they will give you a. They'll bring you in hurriedly, right? They get that something's going on here. They don't know the details yet, but you all have helped them, and so they very quickly usher you inside, and compensate the shipwright, like the ferryman, a little bit extra just to make sure not to talk about it. And you all are brought inside the Marquis. I don't want to call it a citadel. That makes it sound a little bit imposing, but I guess it is kind of
Consulate.
imposing, right? Like, it's more imposing than the number of people actually here was the description, right?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a fortress, but it's not manned like a fortress. So you're brought inside, and they'll give you time to lay low. I think, unless you guys want otherwise, they will let you...
And they should also pick up our stuff.
Try to discreetly grab your things. They will let you rest there, without quote unquote, I don't want to use the word letting you out, but without you needing to leave for a week, which will give you each, let me read off. So for a week's rest, you each can clear 3 exhaustion.
Okay.
They'll assist in resupplying you, so you can clear. We'll say that they'll clear 2 depletion on you, and then as far as injury goes, they'll have one of their healers come by and tend to you, and they'll cover the value cost of it. So we'll also say clear 2 injury.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm back to normal. Whew, I'm completely fine.
And for a strong hit, you don't have to take any reputation hits for that either. They're willing to comp you this. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
While we're, on the men, are we talking with Bell, our Marquisiate go-between, at least for the printing press?
yes, certainly. Do you have any? I assume you talk about what happened to you guys. Like, do you give details? I think she's curious, but
I
Wasn't on
think we should
Marquis
need to
business.
talk to Jasper first.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, let's get with
Jasper.
Jasper first. Yeah.
all right. So this is probably like the next morning after everyone's had a bit to like. There's probably some chatting that night, like we're all alive, and Jasper giving
Yeah.
out some like exhausted thanks. But it's not until everyone
Yeah.
sleeps the next morning that you're really able to like talk through it, right? And you
Yeah.
wait for
Yeah.
a moment
Has-
where there's
has
no
molted.
Marquis around, I'd assume.
I imagine Jasper wouldn't want to talk to them.
Yeah, Jasper's a little bit on edge, but will not say no to free medical treatment. So
Right?
Jasper, try the shrimp. It's delicious.
It looks at you. It's like, for breakfast?
Yeah. Have a little
Shrimp
bit.
and gravy.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
so.
With shrimp gravy.
It's like, in my head, the GM's head, when someone says try the shrimp, I assume cocktail shrimp. I don't know, just something about saying try the shrimp makes me think cocktail shrimp, right?
Oh man,
then-
I could go for cocktail shrimp.
Oh, no cocktail. I was just at Costco. I thought about getting those big containers of it.
But as soon as like Ember or Masha is like shrimp and grits, like that just manifests as the probable thing that would be
Grits?
served,
Whoa.
right? You know. But yeah. So Jasper will,
Suddenly.
Jasper will eat up as well, along with all of you. Give the party as a whole a thanks. Certainly extra thanks towards Ember herself, who he assumes was the one leading the rescue charge. And probably an extra thanks towards Miffy for actually handling the mercenary that was, picking up the rest of the party by himself.
Finally, I get the thanks I deserve.
I also think Miffy, Miffy, you may be a bit overt,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's what the situation calls for.
It's often what the situation calls for because, we tend to get in those situations.
Yeah, maybe discrepancy isn't the better part of valor. Oh, well, we did run away, so maybe it is. Who knows? Who can tell? Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
that
still looking
little-
touchy.
That little shit surprised me with his bang coat. What an asshole. Am I right?
Yeah.
He didn't do shit when I was doing jobs. He let everybody else do the work.
Yeah, honestly, messed up.
Now, Jasper, about those birds, were they the twins?
Yeah, the actors.
Hmm.
He this is a little gruff. I snuck into the theater after the show, made it into that back room. I was listening in on the conversation with them, the writer, and their financer.
Oh.
But it turns out those birds aren't just good actors. Or maybe they're especially good actors. They're good at hiding what they're capable of.
Oh no.
They jumped you?
Not only
Don't tell me they're also directors.
no, they and Jasper gives a what are you talking? And then gestures towards Miffy. No, they jumped me when I left the theater when I thought I was safe.
Oh.
They must have noticed that I was listening on the conversation. I got away at first, tried to go find you all for help, realized you weren't there. They managed to grab me before I could get out of town.
Oh boy. Milo takes out his autograph picture of the twins and rips them in half. Well, there goes another hero I can't look up to.
Yeah, although
me that hat.
remember what Ember was saying earlier about order of operations there. It seems like they probably are the ones who told you where Jasper was, so perhaps they didn't feel good about it, right?
Milo picks up the pieces and tries to stick them back together.
Right.
Thanks, voice
Well,
in the sky.
what did he hear?
Well, I ripped it in half, so it's like the two signatures are separated from the one piece, so it's now two different, one each of their signatures.
I'd say to Jasper, but what did he hear?
I heard they were discussing the next segments of the story. They were also talking about financing it, distribution. He gestures I don't want to say a little bit dismissively. Really, the main thing I was supposed to find out was who was financing it.
Oh, so who were you working for?
There's a pretty solid ... that comes from him.
Ooh.
What I miss?
Oh, wait, you were gone?
My microphone died. Not my microphone. My phone decided, hey,
Oh,
you
no.
don't need to be in this call, right?
Oh,
I'm
no,
back.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had dropped.
Well,
Alright.
I'm glad? Question mark.
Well,
I didn't miss much. It was just the birds feeling bad.
okay,
Mm.
all right.
Gotcha.
All you really missed was Milo ripping up and then putting back together the image Jasper talking about what he heard, which was basically just planning for the next segments of the story, the next upcoming plays, the distribution, etc., and how he was mainly hired to find out who was bankrolling the whole thing, because while the author herself is in fact, wealthy, she got wealthy by virtue of virtue of her company connections, and someone is paying for this to be printed and distributed. So that's what he was hired to find out. He ellipsed instead of saying who had hired him.
But I'm confused here. I thought it was it's not really a secret that the company is funding the plays.
You're right, it's not. But my client wanted to know who specifically.
Specifically, huh?
My client...
It's not just the plays, is it?
No. He sort of takes a sigh of look, I'm not going to tell you who I'm working for. GM voice. At least not without you guys trying to make a check for it. But, he continued. He says, but my client has grown worried with the Riverfolk Company's monopoly on culture, as he puts it. He believes that they're the main ones distributing entertainment throughout the woodlands right now. Sure, the Eyrie has their songs and plays for their nobility, but that doesn't really spread along the ground. And the Marquis is more concerned with putting out educational materials than entertaining ones. And so my client wanted to know the source of where these cultural activities, said with an incredibly dripping level of venom, right? Where these cultural influences were coming from.
I see.
Do I know, is there a particular fondness of theater in any of the Riverfolk Company that I know of? And because I know that one guy, that bookie was, would I have a good guess?
I think... Let me take a look at you.
Hello.
Why don't you roll... So this isn't quite right. I think the closest thing is you're trying to figure out a little bit of the company, right? So why don't you roll with charm? It's not really a figure someone out, so the consequences and results won't be the same. Why don't you roll charm for me, Miffy? We'll say your past experiences are what allows you to make this roll.
Okay.
I don't think it's abundantly clear though, regardless of your roll. But
would it be better to do luck?
No.
All right.
Can I? Oh.
Nope. I mean, I guess you could make it a... No, you can't help. I don't see how you could help.
Yeah, I think this is more about Miffy in this case. Miffy, I think...
Yeah.
Wait, can I add my +1 reputation? My negative... Oh, no, that's going to give me a minus.
Miffy, I think what comes through in this case is, like I was saying before you rolled, that doesn't seem to be the primary mode of operation of any of the captains you've worked closely with, which would imply to you that someone you haven't worked closely with. Now, it's impossible for you to know for sure because you rolled a miss, but there's gotta be dozens of captains you haven't worked closely with in town. However, it does sound like Jasper heard some stuff, so maybe he just knows.
I want to figure someone out on my brother to figure out this is his own distaste for the general, what's the right word? If he's more distasteful about the job and what it's about, or if he is particularly displeased with the people involved. Like, is it his employer? Is it the fact that he has to do this shit?
Sure, roll figure someone out for me on your brother. You know, I might even say you get a bonus +1 because it is in fact your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still leave.
That's a 9,
bonus
too.
plus 1 still leaves it at a weak hit, but still figure someone out. So you get to ask a question. So you were saying to figure out what's making him most upset, right? Is that sort of what you're going for?
Mm-hmm.
I think what upsets him the most, Ember, as far as you can tell, is that he feels like he botched it, right? Like he feels like he's the one who messed up the job. Not only did he get caught, he got tracked down. Like he escaped, got caught a second time, right? Like so first he was noticed, then he escaped, got caught, and then you all had to come rescue him after he wasn't even able to like make contact with you himself, which means somehow someone else made contact with you on his behalf, right? So it's like, great. So the person he's most angry at right now is himself for the way that he botched this job. And he's taking it out on the actor birds and like everyone else involved that he's aware of, right? Just like blaming them.
Fair.
He's, yeah, you know.
Fair.
Yeah. He definitely feels, even though he said he was like, you know, complaining about birds earlier, he definitely feels like he's the one who underestimated, you know, the people in the theater rather than they were the ones who outsmarted him. He feels like it was within his power to not mess up, but he did.
It's okay, kid. Yeah. Bad rolls happen to the best of us.
We barely missed a bear.
So wait, are you saying that you actually weren't having the manuscript, weren't hired to get back the manuscript from Romeo?
No, I was. Just someone else noticed my proximity to the author and thought I'd be able to use it to find the financer.
Wow, you double-crossed real quick. That's your issue.
There's a bit of a scoff. It's like, I don't remember joining the company.
I'm just saying that. Hey, I don't blame you for that either. I'm just saying it was a little too close in timeline here, is all I'm saying.
I'm also
Proximity
saying,
was the only reason I had the opportunity.
And why you got caught?
Grumbles. Milo, what were you saying?
Well, going by what you've said, I guess we were going to extend you a job offer, but we'll see.
We were going to extend you a job offer, but seeing as you betrayed your previous employer...
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No, he's allowed to betray the company.
Yeah.
Betrayal doesn't count if you betray people I don't like. That's simple.
Yeah. He said it. He was never... He just did one job for them. It's not like he built up loyalty like I did, and they got shoved out the door.
And also, I worked for the author who's not even part of the company herself. She's compensated by the company, but she's not a captain. She's not on the payroll.
So could she give us a referral then?
The author? After all of this? No.
Okay, well, I'm on the fence about this. Miffy seems to maybe be on. I don't know if I can ask Ember about that. That might be a little bit of a conflict of interest, but we'll keep in touch.
Wait,
Hey,
so
Miffy,
yeah?
did you recognize that person? I wasn't paying attention to a lot, but you seem to know people.
Oh yeah, I know that asshole. He did books for the company, and sounds like he's still doing that. He would come onto jobs with his little glasses. I'm assuming he has glasses.
Yeah, he has tiny little glasses. His
tiny glasses. How is he supposed to see out of those, you know?
Wait a minute.
He wouldn't contribute to the important stuff. You just watch.
I gotta admit, Miffy, the way you kind of talk about his detachment and in the murdering and that cool sort of bomb in his chest seems pretty cool to me.
Okay, well, I'll have him bang flash your eyes next time.
Jasper says, do we have to call it that?
Well, what do you want to call it, smart guy?
Pocket bomb?
That's not what that was.
Also, actually, Miffy, does that look familiar to you? Was the company using that?
No,
What, the weapon?
No, you hadn't
Yeah.
seen anything like that. This seems to be that guy's
Oh.
special. At least, if there is something like that, it's
Oh.
not widespread.
Yeah, no, it's just the first time I'm seeing it.
Yes,
I'm still seeing it if every time I blink.
Ugh.
Well, anyway, Jasper, your friend that you're talking about. Well, I don't know if you're gonna really get anything out of him since failed and all. But well,
Elbow.
yeah. Anyway,
Continue.
but well, hey, I know a little something about that guy over there, and well, I know a little something about the company, and if he's looking to give you one more shot, or if you're looking to pass off the job to someone else, good old Miffy's ready for it.
If you go through, your pitch, and then Jasper, despite all the injuries, because again, we're saying this conversation happened like the next morning, so before all of your healing applied, right? Like, so Jasper through the injuries, there's a bit of a smirk, and he says, "Who said I failed? I may have gotten caught, but I have the information my client asked for, and if anything, suspicion won't be pointed at my client, but thanks to you, it'll be pointed at the Marquis." That's if they even figure out we came here to begin with.
Fair. What were they interrogating you about anyway?
They wanted to know who I was working for.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like anything else? Were they actually interesting in their questions?
No, of course not.
What kind of techniques did they use?
They went through a couple, first attempting to try to buy my, loyalty, which, look, I'm not opposed to taking some conflicting contracts, but if someone's hired me to do a thing with discretion, I'm not about to go back on that, no matter how much someone else offers.
Wow.
You do any waterboarding?
Dignity.
Any fireboarding? Earthboarding? Airboarding?
What?
What are you saying?
Well, you know,
I think
there's
he's talking
waterboarding and there's fireboarding.
Oh.
If you're like waterboarding with fire, there's earthboarding. Well,
What
earthboarding
about
people.
skateboarding?
Soup-boarding? Oh, God, I hope it didn't go that far.
Just your bribery, deprivation.
Did they
followed
try
by-
tickling?
No.
Oh, God, Miffy. Ugh.
Followed by a
I
spot
know.
of violence
It's
with threats
cruel
of
and
moving me.
unusual.
God, got the foot pillars out there. Ugh.
Anyway, sounded like they were going to move me elsewhere at that morning. Maybe we would have gotten
We
to the
heard as
waterboarding
much.
once I was aboard a company ship. Who knows? I was hoping that maybe I'd have a chance to flee when they were moving me. But you all got there before, so
And you're welcome.
yeah, I
I
already
don't know.
said thank you.
Well,
Yeah, but that was last night. I wanted to hear it again.
Thank
Fair
you
enough.
for coming and getting me.
So,
I feel-
Ember, how does your brother want to repay you, you think?
I don't know.
Can't I just give you money and be over with it?
Come
How
on.
much you got?
Well, not much now because they took my possessions when they grabbed me. But once I turn in this information, I should have a good paycheck.
We'll discuss it afterwards.
I think that you should put in a good word for us.
My employer?
Yeah, I want to meet the guy. And don't worry, I won't waterboard you to get that information.
I guess I could ask, see what he thinks.
Miffy's hand slowly rescinds from the water pitcher.
Hey, I'm drinking that.
Just know if it sounds like maybe petty competition between two artists or whatever, but if he has something against the company, then our goals are aligned.
Oh yeah, Miffy has it out for the company.
Well, maybe they might.
Oh, did we not mention that to you, Jasper?
I think that was pretty clear.
All right, don't think about that in conjunction with the letter we gave you. That was for the company.
Shut up.
What? I didn't say anything. That was my player. Don't worry about that. That's not canon.
Decanonized Ray. Wheel. All right. Yeah, did you have more you wanted to ask Jasper before we?
What did he agree?
He seems like he'll put in a word and he'll let you know.
All right. Do you think it's important in our quest to know who Jasper's boss is?
No.
No.
Okay, let's drop it then.
All right.
Why?
Mordio, is it important or?
So, why don't
I
we-
just think it's fun to.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Ember?
First I was like, oh yeah, Miffy has a thing against has it out for the company and especially specific people.
Mhm.
But currently, it's like I just think it's fun to tease him.
Well, while we're here, we're gonna have a lot of time teasing him.
Yeah, when I'm not.
That was weird.
Well, why don't we take our break here, since we are about
Okay.
halfway through the session, and we'll resume after our week time skip, perhaps talking to the Marquis, or perhaps learning a little bit, learning what Jasper's employer's response is, depending on what you guys want to do first.
Okay.
Sound good?
Woohoo!
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right
All right,
back.
see you soon.
All right, we're back, and we are a week later, as our team has now, I don't want to say fully, or maybe it's fully, I don't know, you guys can tell me, at least mostly recovered. So I know we want to talk to the Marquis about what happened. I don't know how much you guys would tell them. They would certainly ask. They want at least some idea of what you're hiding from, what they're hiding you from on their property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you guys can disagree, but I feel like we can at least tell him, like, hey, this is Ember's brother. We heard he was in trouble. We went to get him. It was company guys. You can ask Jasper what, he was up to if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Minimal involvement. Just hey, my brother was jumped by company people.
And let your brother deal with having to obscure information from them.
Exactly.
It'll throw your brother under the bus. Perfect.
How's that throwing him under the bus?
I mean, now he's the one getting questioned.
I mean, we saved his ass.
This is common involvement with each other in the household. We just happen to be not in the household. You should expect this from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he probably spends a good number of the week, or days of the week, deflecting questions when he can, giving away the minimum amount of information he can. Ultimately, the Marquis did decide to help you, not because of the information that you or Jasper could provide, but because of the aid you had rendered in the past anyway, so anything they get out of Jasper is more of a bonus to them. But after the week, Jasper speaks to all of you once you're feeling mostly better. Once the Marquis is like, alright, you've laid low for a bit, you're definitely going to want to keep an eye out because they are asking people to look out for a group with your people with your descriptions. Wanted for breaking and entering, as it were.
Are we out of the embassy yet, or are we still hanging around?
Not yet.
Okay, so can we get a chance to talk to Belle?
Yeah, we can talk to her. I also forgot to put us on the marquee map earlier. That's fine. We can go there. Yeah, we can talk to her. What do you want to talk to her about?
I just want to, seem to be in quite a pickle, and I don't know if you need any help anywhere to. We might be a little well known, but if you have some work for us to help pay back your kindness, just let us know.
I do have something that's coming through. It's not fully clear yet. Oh, sorry. I do have something that's coming through. It's not fully clear yet. The details, but it's in another clearing. Now, we do have an agent there who will be capable of more fully debriefing you. Even if you were to wait a few days, I doubt I could give you a full picture. But it is in another clearing, so unless you are finished with your business here, I don't know if we wish to begin discussing that matter.
Well, we're not really sure if we're even going to be around town the next couple of days, so let's keep that in our back pocket if we swing by.
Well, how about this then? If you find yourselves having to leave town, and perhaps in the future you still wish to speak of this job, if you are in Marquis territory, show them this. And she gives a scrap of cloth that honestly is pretty unremarkable. Any Marquis agent
I'm gonna sniff it.
Any Marquis agent of my rank would be able to interpret it as someone who is willing to do favors for us. Though I do warn you, do not treat this as if you have some emblem of Marquis favor. The rank and file soldiers will not know what it is, and certainly it will not give you any special permissions to do anything. But
I see.
It can be used to show that you have worked for us successfully before. So,
What does it smell like?
what does it smell like? Honestly, it's probably very like sap-y, like tree sappy, or sawdusty maybe. You know, somewhere in that direction. Very like processed woody.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yeah, that one. So, yeah. I think that's what she'll give you in lieu of this information, because she does want to do this task with you, but it's also sending you elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys are ready to leave, then sure, but I get the feeling you're
just
not ready to
one
leave
more.
yet.
Now, we did a job for you previously. I kind of make little, like, typing motions. Does she get that?
Yeah, she gets it.
How's that going? Our information, was it suffice?
Yes, I'm told that they were able to... I'm told that they just got all of the materials and instructions back to somewhere secure. The interpretation should be beginning today, actually. So, give it another week or so, and we'll have... I'll have more to report on that front, but initial outlook is very promising. So you once again have our thanks for that.
Tips his hat.
Any information on the... I can't remember the guy's name, the glasses guy's name.
Oh. Captain Oliver Ogden.
Was he always a captain when I was with him? Did he attain that rank recently or something?
As far as you're aware, he recently obtained it when you met him. So he was he was fresh to it at the time.
Understood.
What do we know about him? is that I forget how much of this was said during a previous session, but if we look over at the map, I think some of this was said previous session, so I doubt many people remember it since it was a month ago. So we know that he frequently travels between Velox's Bend and Hopper's Crossing. It's curious why. Certainly, with the embassies of the Marquis and the Erie here in the Bend, you would think that he would have anyone he needs to talk to, a representative here. But he does make frequent trips to Hopper's Crossing, which we interpret to mean that he is doing some either personal deals with locals there, or under-the-table deals with Erie nobility that he does not want us to even slightly catch wind of.
Thanks. Guys, where are we thinking about heading, by the way?
I thought you wanted to hear more from Jasper.
Well, it's been a week.
He wasn't gonna go.
Lord.
He wasn't gonna go talk to his employer while you were all laying low, right?
Well,
No.
I mean, if we can stick around a little bit, that's fine with me. But it sounds like Milo here wants to go right now.
I mean, why not?
How dangerous would it be to go back to that doctor in front of the inn? I need more of those pills.
Uh-oh.
We put it at.
So I can ride boats!
we'd-
I hate riding boats!
I'd put it at a mild to moderate dangerous. Depends on how good you are at being inconspicuous. Ember by herself would probably have an easier time not being noticed, but if you were by yourself, it means getting noticed is all the more dangerous, right?
It's fine. It's fine.
I have a question. So what's like the law here?
The law? Is
Yeah, because we broke in, but also we saw them kidnap someone and beat them up. There's no law enforcement here, right?
the law enforcement is the company here. So essentially,
Right, of
you would
course.
have
So
to,
they didn't do anything wrong.
yeah, you would have to prove that the company did something wrong. And honestly, they'd probably just say, "Well, he broke in, so we took him custody." And and then
Okay.
That's what the
cool.
captain would say, and then the company captain responsible for determining justness would say, "Yeah, he's got a point," and then that would be the end of that.
Yeah. All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
We weren't, missing an obvious
Yeah, like
thing.
if you were in a Marquis or an Erie clearing, granted they might still be inclined to side with the company, but at least there you'd have some semblance of, other legal authority to deal with.
Guys, do you want any more reason to hate the company? Come on now.
Yeah, and so, you wouldn't say this during this conversation, but Jasper's going to go see his client today. So if you want to
Let's
talk to
tail
that
him.
client, you can probably
Let's
do it
tail
today.
him.
Oh, you're going to sneak? You're not going to just let him do his thing?
I mean...
I will let him do his thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm tired. And if he doesn't come back and do what he said he was going to do, I can hold it over him for the rest of his life.
Well, that may not be very long and something happens on the way there.
I mean, he's probably fine. I just want to know who the secret person is.
He's going to be fine because he thinks that he needs to be even extra more careful now because he wasn't last.
Is he still here?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be in the room with you and Belle, right?
Okay, yeah. So, after we table this conversation, I'll talk to him.
Sure, he'll probably be packing up his stuff.
Yeah. So, do I need anything more from Belle? I don't think so. So,
Yeah.
we just...
Feel free to come back
say-
if you guys aren't run out of town. at the end of this.
Let's hope not. Of our own accord, anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
so let's go to Jasper.
All right. Yeah, you go to Jasper. Once again, mainly looking at starting at Ember. Well, thanks again. Extra nod towards Miffy because of Miffy's might on getting everyone out of there. Like I said, I'll go speak to my client, hang around somewhere I can find you, and if they want to talk to you, I'll let you know.
Can I use figure someone out on him?
Sure, I suppose.
Okay. So I want to know, like... Actually, can I... If I state my intention in a certain way, would that change what I have to roll?
Quite possibly. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find out who he's going to meet, and I want to pose it in, like, a way of concern for his safety, instead of being nosy.
I think that would be tricking someone. Like, I don't think you figure someone out is like to get impressions of what's going on, right? Or like you know what's going on behind the scenes. You'd basically be trying to wordplay trick him into saying it out loud.
Okay, gotcha. I'll figure someone out to see if he trusts the person he's working for now to not hurt him or not to trick him.
Ow.
All right, yeah, make
good?
the roll.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, yeah. So your question,
First one is
reading or not reading. You're trying to see if he trusts them. He trusts them
does he?
about as much as he trusts any of his employers, in that he's going to stay on guard the whole time, collect his money, and leave. You know, ask the favor and leave. Right? He's not gonna. You don't get the sense that he's particularly trusting or distrusting. He's a typical amount of skeptical, we'll say. An average amount of skeptical towards this employer.
How shaken up is he from his interrogation?
Earlier in the week, you would say more so, but probably more shaken up by the failure and then being rescued than the interrogation itself. Now, he seems to be mostly... I don't want to say over it, but it's mostly moved from shaken up to bitter.
Yeah. Yes, good. And last one, what can we do to garner his trust and maybe have him on our team at some point?
I mean, honestly, you guys have already done a decent...
Oh, we did rescue him from...
You already rescued him, right? So you've already gotten a good bit of trust. Probably just don't mess it. Like, it's less how do you garner his trust, it's how do you not mess it up, right? Like, you know, if he's going to have you talk to his employer, the impression that you make on the employer reflects on him, right? So, you know, keep that in mind when you're talking to this employer, assuming you get to.
Gotcha.
Your actions, the way you treat him, like any other person, right? But for right now, you think you have his, you know, his gratitude. Although Ember, of course, you know, in your family, you're no stranger to helping each other out when things get really bad. But also, you know, that such gratitude only lives so long before now it's his turn to help you, and now he's the one, you know, holding something over your head instead. So, won't last forever, but for now, you're the one with the favor. Or the favor to call in, you know. But alright. So, I assume you guys hang around until he has something to say?
Yeah.
Alright. Then, it doesn't take too long, maybe just a couple hours. You're hiding out in the city. Marquis sends you back over there, but...
While we're waiting for that, can I find a buyer of cloth?
A buyer of cloth?
Will someone please buy my unassuming ascot?
Why, you don't care for it?
You know, it was a fun little diversion, but I feel like I'm over it. I don't want to be associated with that something I was clearly something that was seen on a criminal leaving a theater.
Oh, I see. What if you? Well, first off, if you want to exchange it, I'd say that you've barely used it, so you can get your money back. Sure.
Okay.
But you could also exchange it for an unassuming tie instead, or something similar if you prefer. But that's up to you. But either way, you're able to do that while you wait. Sure.
I'm gonna get an unassuming hat.
Okay, you get your unassuming hat instead.
Okay, I'm gonna look up cool hats.
All right. While you're doing that, let me
hats.
bring up the information on.
.gov.
All right, so Jasper comes back and he says, my client is willing to meet with you all. It sounds like that he has something he's curious to ask us, so if you'll follow me, I'll take you to him.
Here's perk. All right.
And so you are brought through the central portion of town, through the bend, to a boat, and then to the Erie embassy.
Ooh.
So let's head on over there. All right. While this is loading. All right. So you're brought over to the Erie embassy, to these like raised up homes and trees, which is very common for Erie architecture, But you're brought over and led to a oh, excuse me. You're led to a very tiny, like counter service looking food eatery, right?
Oh.
It's got a couple tables outdoor. And there's like a counter with a window. And if you look in through the window, there's like one table on the inside. And there's a tiny house sparrow looking bird sitting in the window, just like. Now this looks like a food establishment, like a place to eat, right? The way the house sparrow glares at anyone walking by would not inspire most people to approach the counter to order something.
I don't know.
I said most people. Some people it might work, but
yeah. So we follow Jasper's lead in.
Yeah, Jasper heads up to the counter. There's a bit of a nod, as it appears that this is not the first time Jasper's visited here. The house sparrow looks to the three of you, and Jasper would say, like, oh, they'll have what I'm having. The house sparrow raises an eyebrow. Jasper rolls an eye and then lists out a complicated sandwich order, to which the house sparrow nods, and there's like a thunk as like the wooden beam that keeps the door closed is lifted up, and you're all let inside.
Can I have mine with no pickles?
Jasper's like, that's not.
The door closes again.
Yeah, Jasper's like, that's not.
All right, fine.
Once the four of you are brought inside, a tinier house sparrow that looks very similar to the gruff one at the window steps out, looks over all of you carefully, and then wordlessly leads you into the back rooms and upstairs, where you're taken to a much nicer seating area that like overlooks this town, right? Like you have a view more like what we're seeing in the image, right? And somewhere indoors. And waiting for you is a bird, of course. Where did I put him?
I'm scared.
Away.
He is. Oh, there we go. He looks up at you. Mostly white bird with like a brown, or not brown, with like a black ring around his neck and like a little bit of a cap. Thin yellow beak. And when he perks up and sees you, he's got rather long legs and moves over to you all very quickly, appraisingly. So these are...
I don't know if I appreciate that.
These are Jasper's rescuers. I apologize. I don't know how to go slow. I am Least Lord Adrius Charadri. It's a pleasure. He holds out a wing.
Shake swing.
Shake swing.
It takes the wing, does a little shake. Wonderful. You may call me Audrey if you'd like. We don't need to stand on titles or anything here. But I hear I have you to thank for rescuing Jasper, and by virtue of rescuing Jasper, getting me my information. Is that
Yeah, you could say that I did that. Because I did.
Yes.
wonderful?
You know what? Miffy was a big part of it.
Yes, I heard that you had to employ quite a bit of physical prowess to escape. He, moves his head a little bit, relatively unscathed. Certainly no one seems to have suffered any permanent harm.
Well, certainly makes me think twice about going to see a show again.
Yes. Your escape was not as clean as perhaps we would have liked, but that it happened at all was good, and that you had the wherewithal to remain out of sight for a while is also good. My ears on the ground tell me that the general assumption is that you've all left the clearing already, fled it, and we would be careful to keep that way. Well then, Jasper told me that you wanted to talk to me. I don't suppose you're looking for employment?
Well, we always have our ear down, as they say, for that.
That's right, but I'm particularly interested in knowing your motivations here. They seem like good ones to me.
There's a bit of a wry smile. Well, you do know how to flatter. How much has Jasper told you?
He's been very good at telling us only what happened in the context of his kidnapping? I don't know.
Well, and perhaps he hasn't told you that I'm something of an art critic. I'm an avid reader of that serialized set of scenes, and I find them, if I'm to be entirely honest...
Highly propagandic?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking!
Not only that, but my superiors, though I am loath to remind you my title is Least Lord, my superiors don't see the harm that widespread distribution of such frivolous, company-ridden nonsense throughout the woodland will have. And so it falls upon me to take action into my own hands, to ensure that this distasteful material is not further spread throughout our woodland.
I see. Is that why that sandwich Jasper ordered was called the Macbeth?
Oh my god.
We like a little bit of literary flair here. Yes, it's true. Now, of course, you might be thinking, if I wanted the stories to stop, why not simply assassinate the author? And while, of course, that's a big part of it, as long as there was someone who wanted the material produced, they would find another author. My suspicion was that the company itself is similar to the Eerie and that they do not yet fully understand and appreciate the value they have here, and that there's likely, perhaps a handful of captains really driving this effort on their end. And thanks to Jasper, and by extension you all, I now know who to blame.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
Glad to
hear you,
hear
Miffy. Yeah.
Huh?
Did you say something, Miffy?
I said, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad to hear it. Well then, if you are glad to hear that, perhaps you'll be glad to hear this. I'm looking for aid in diminishing the company's interest in publishing further works.
What kind of artist are you again? Our critic, right? Our critic.
Yes, not an artist, a critique.
Got it.
Yeah,
What's that?
oh, well, I read the works of others and eviscerate it. At least in most cases. Though there are some truly inspiring tales, but if I'm going to be entirely honest, many of them are of an era of the early Eerie, really. Even the middle and later Eerie periods are self-indulgent, I'll say. But not to say I don't dabble in writing myself, I just don't have any delusions of being a master.
I see. Now, your focus is on literature, but do you ever branch out into the lyrical arts? Milo says, sweating visibly.
I am known to offer my thoughts to an orator's performance now and again. I do have some respect for those who provide a live or otherwise improvised performance. There is a certain level of skill that's required to dynamically adapt one's words, and while the quality cannot always be maintained, the through line of it all is still to be respected. This applies to lyrics and the like as well, though I do not dabble as much in music as I do stagecraft and the written word.
I see.
What say you? Would you be interested in assisting me in ridding the woodlands of this propaganda, this financial need to see it distributed to every corner in every settlement?
Well, I suppose that depends on your methodology here, because if you're looking for a brute, I'm here, but that's just me.
Eloquently put. So, I will be equally blunt with you. Quite frankly, I don't care why this captain stops investing in the arts. I would rather this captain... I don't mind if this captain simply has a change of heart, or disappears entirely. All I want is for the money to stop flowing to this nonsense being printed.
Alright, well, let's see who it is. I mean, if you're asking for top-rank people, then, you know, we'd be expected to be paid top-rank service, you understand?
Yes, you can be compensated with coin if that's your wish.
Milo's grumbling. What's happening over here?
I'm just taking it all in right now.
I see.
In reality, Milo is thinking about what kind of hat would look best on him.
Who's the guy?
Or
Gal?
Why, you've already met, it would seem.
Oh, the booker?
Yes, Oliver Ogden. He's
Yes.
the young man seems to have a keen eye for, I'm lament to call it culture. Perhaps I would be better to call it influence. He's very quickly made his way up through the company, as I understand it. Certainly in no small part due to being able to play the desires of his superiors off of one another and to present himself in the best light. In the same manner, he's the one pushing to present the company's ideals in the best light by or via this pamphlet. If he disappears, the money dries up. Sure, the author may self-finance for a short time, but I don't imagine it will be distributed anywhere near as widely. And if I could constrain it just to Velox's Bend, that would be a success.
Fair enough.
Well, now there's a bunch of different strategies we could go on, but let's just say, I've got a couple ideas brewing in my mind. Now, whether we accomplish this or not is, it depends here. But, do you mind if I take a few moments to discuss with my associates?
Certainly.
Cool. We're gonna take this room over here.
Alright.
Maybe this is the broom closet.
Well, where else am I supposed to go?
While you're
Yeah,
all
fair
doing
enough.
that,
Stay
Millet,
close
can
to
we
her.
get some refreshments up here? It wanders off to go call the birds to get food.
Might I have more dipping sauce?
Dipping sauce. Anyway, you may have your conversation.
Milo, I have an opportunity for you that might just work.
Oh.
I don't know. Miffy, I just got back on my feet. I don't know if I can.
Oh my gosh. I'll be right back.
Oh.
Close the door while you're. Okay. Well, late for me then.
We should put on a rival play.
Milo
Written
slowly.
by you.
Milo is groaning while he takes off his bard hat and puts on a director's beret.
We
Miffy,
put him in competition, yes?
we gotta stop enabling one another.
Oh, come on. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Yeah, it does, but we need to hold auditions. We gotta get a crew together. We gotta find a space. It's gonna take time if we really want to do this.
Well, I feel we could probably find an investor. And
Peeks
hey,
out.
I'll act for you if you want.
Oh. We're trying to send a message, or we're just trying to be more popular than the current play.
It can be both. We send out an anti-company message. People come to watch it, including Oliver or whatever the fuck his name is. And then maybe I, strong arm him or something. Or kill him. I'm fine with either.
Well,
Back, sorry.
I guess that's.
Hey, Ember,
Oh,
do you want to be the main actress in a play written by Milo?
Oh god, I can't say no now.
That sounds fun.
Does your brother know how to make props or arc lighting?
He can learn.
Okay. I gotta do it now. Milo takes out some parchment and a quill and starts writing stuff down. Let's see here. Message, big lights, embers. I gotta make a female protagonist. Great.
What the hell? That sounded way weird.
Listen, we might have, depending on our time frame, we gotta get this written down and planned out.
All right, well, I'll leave that to you.
I might be able to get
fine.
something.
Hey, don't we know like an acrobatist or something? We could pull her in.
Yeah,
She's not-
Your stunt coordinator.
Her stunt coordinator.
All right,
She's all
send
the
out
way
a-
in Dion's den, but she'll make it somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
we'll
guys
send
want
a-
to take,
we'll
if
send
you guys
a-
want to take 2 months to put this together, you can go back to Dion's den, get some people you know there, and
Oh my god.
I don't know if I want to take 2 months.
What's that guy's name? Dennis? Get him to do pyrotechnics for us.
Oh, yes.
The mayor could be, I don't know. We'll find something for the mayor. Probably get him hurt.
oh no.
That's giving me a migraine. That's genius.
All right. I mean, to be clear, if you really did want people, just because it's 2 months in game time doesn't mean it's 2 months of real life time. We could fast forward through that and montage it, but that might be a lot of time in game just to get a couple people you know. Unfortunately, the only local actors you know.
Mm,
Your,
yeah.
your relationship with
Miffy.
them is complicated.
Yeah. I mean, wait a minute. Hold on. What if, crazy idea, what if we, you ever heard of contract tampering?
No. Ember's
Why?
intro.
Well, maybe we just don't have to make a rival play, just get rid of the actors, or at least sway them.
With
People-
they're the
another
ones putting on
play.
Maybe if
the the
actually,
Erie
they may be
Noble
onto
wants
something.
is specifically after the story stopping being funded, which includes both the play and the printed product. So he's
right.
going after the whole bundle,
Sorry,
trying to turn the money
Miffy.
faucet off.
Feel like we can't do the play. We just gotta kill the guy. Thought I could.
Next time.
Feel like I could have turned that anger elsewhere, but I guess we gotta make it turn it towards the company again.
Yes, we
No.
gotta kill that guy. I mean, it's not. We don't have
If
to
you
take this job, but I'm just saying.
If you use this event to fuel your creative endeavors,
Well,
shrug.
well.
Come on, what are you afraid of? Popularity?
Well, we're not doing what the Erie guy wants if we're just making a play. Also, he probably wants this done quick, so maybe making a play is not the best idea.
No, well, here's the thing. We don't have to put on a full play. We just need to get the guy where we want him.
Oh, like promo!
Yeah, we can do
Oh.
a trailer.
Oh, like we go into his office and say, "Do we got an act for you?"
No, because he already knows who we are.
That's true. Well,
We lure him in with a trailer. Oh, you don't have to write a whole play. You just have to write
wait,
an opening act.
Miffy, if we make a play, Ember's in it, won't they know who we are?
That's why we use fake names.
Okay, Burham.
Reb me.
Oh goodness. I feel like we can workshop this.
Moby. Got so much.
You come.
Hmm.
Is Jasper still here?
I was going to
janitor.
ask if Jasper was included in this sidebar or not. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, he is. He's in the corner, so he can't escape.
All right. To which he says, he's like pinching the bridge of his nose, his muzzle, or whatever. Is just like, wait. So your plan in the town that we are currently wanted in is to put on a play where you will be up on stage again in the town that we're currently wanted in.
No, we'll do it right outside the play, or outside the town.
Okay, so you're gonna advertise to lure a bunch of people outside the town that you're currently wanted in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Miffy, if you want to make a play, we can do that as a separate thing. We can kill the guy first, and then now that he's dead, we'll take his theater spot, and then we'll put on the play. How about that?
Oh, sure. When it's just kill the guy, it's Miffy does all the work.
I mean, we'll help you, obviously, right, Jasper? We're going to kill this guy, right, Jasper? We're going to commit murder, right, Jasper?
When you're saying that, and then Jasper's like, wait, go back a second, actually. You know what? Now that I'm hearing this again, the words kill this guy and play at the same time, there's a certain level of irony given the whole thing I went through, so it does sound a little appealing to me, and like maybe it's worth the risk.
All right.
Rex.
Yeah, well.
I don't know if it's a good idea, but it would be funny.
See, well, here's the thing. The cats are already coming up with their own printing press. They can be distributed. What if we give them enough time to distribute stuff? It'll be a rival themselves, you know. They can outmaneuver the otters, the company, you know.
You say that, and Jasper's like, well, you might not want to tell our this employer that, or he might ask you to go after the cats next.
Oh.
Well, I guess it just depends if he likes their stuff.
I don't think he will.
Yeah. Not sure about that, Miffy.
Listen, I've talked to him a bit. The only thing he really seems to like are like period piece, eerie dramas, like nobility and bloodlines and duty and honor and betrayal and all that nonsense. I don't think he's going to like whatever the Marquis puts out.
Real fan of Lou Boo, I see.
Do you think he would be interested? Is he your buyer for those coins?
There's a... Yeah, fine. Yes, obviously. The eerie noble who cares about old history? Yes. That one.
I see.
I think I have something else for him.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we'll talk to him after we discuss our murder/play plans.
Yeah, which Jasper then would reiterate. It's like, very funny plans, but again, are they the best plans?
All right, what's the best plan?
And they say it's the best plans of mice and something else, but don't remember the last part, but I guess the mice part falls to Miffy, so it may be your call.
Best plans of mice. That means it's Miffy.
And gestures.
All right, so plan options. 1, we get a play going to lure the nerd guy out and kill him. 2, we just find the nerd guy and kill him. Those are our options so far. Any others?
Jasper would rattle some off. It's like, well, we could find out where his money comes from and ruin all of his trade deals, make him, bankrupt.
That's not a bad plan. Jaspy? Is it okay as I call you Jaspy?
No.
No. Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. Well, what can I call you then?
Jasper, my name.
Amber, what kind of nickname does Jasper have?
Jasper.
No, like nothing he's like really embarrassed about.
Squinting.
That's a weird nickname.
I guess that's up to you, I suppose. What would be a nickname for Jasper? That would be...
Jassifier?
Jackpot.
I don't know about that one.
No. See, the only thing that I can think of is siblings calling each other random words that make absolutely no sense to anyone else.
Yeah,
like moose. I guess.
That's like calling him an eldritch beast.
Yeah.
Yep. You also say it's like company captains have boats, right? Couldn't we like sink his boat? I don't know if that would do anything.
If there's anything I know about these rich guys is that they have at least 5 boats.
Yeah, Miffy, you're like, it probably would be a blow to his personal wealth if you sank the boat that he owns in town. But like you just said, he may very well have more than one. So it would be a blow, but not like critical.
Oh, what if we fill it with those skunk cabbages?
That's just like a prank. That's not gonna hurt him.
I don't know that that'll cause it to capsize.
That's just a prank.
I like the attitude. Maybe if it was like rocks or Bombs.
Distracted.
Like, we have
Or
really
holes.
de-escalated here from luring to murder to pranking him.
Yeah, what if I just
Look.
take a big fat shit on his desk?
I mean,
Oh, Miffy!
you could.
I'm just.
Don't drop smart pills on his desk like that. It's a family show.
Is it?
What?
We're cute cartoon animals. We can't be doing bodily
Killing
functions like that.
guys.
Well, that's different. That's cartoon violence.
Uh-huh.
People are dead, Milo.
Or they're just knocked out until they go to a poke center.
I mean, isn't just like pooping? That's like the ultimate kid joke. Seems pretty juvenile to me.
So
Is it poop or is
Work
it
it.
fart?
Why would I? What? I'm just. You know what? Anyway, I want to talk about something else now.
I agree. Ugh.
All right. The plan. Remember, the goal of the plan is to stop the money flowing into the arts from the company side. That's right. We're cutting funding to the arts. That's the plan here. So
Cool. Is it just him or just like mainly him that's
it seems to be
doing
mainly him. He's the one who seems to really be like, if we put, according to the Least Lord over there, Oliver Ogden, or according to the Least Lord and Jasper, Oliver Ogden is the one who's really pushing for, if we put out all of this entertainment, people will read it, they'll start thinking about the company's ideas, and they'll see that they're right? Like, that's the...
Yeah.
So Ogden's the
They're
main
yeah,
one pushing.
quote unquote right.
Yep.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, wasn't the reception towards the play kind of lukewarm?
I mean, yeah,
I
but
thought
they're
some of the
also-
people- I thought some of the audience members were just like, huh, interesting.
Yeah, I think this most recent one, the moral of the story was a little bit lukewarmly received. From what we discussed multiple sessions ago, so again, no shade on anyone for not remembering, is that the series itself, though, is popular and gaining popularity and spreading across the woodland, right?
Oh, I know. We replace her writing with the worst ending that nobody will talk about it for decades.
Actually, Miffy, you may be onto something.
Oh, that's
Red Wedding.
that's inspired. I think even Jasper's like, that's terrible, but also great.
Or like, Miffy, if you know some dirty laundry about the company, we can shed light on there. Like outright stated in the pamphlet, and we switch it in when the latest issue is supposed to go out. That might put a big hurt on them.
I guess, but I don't think we have to really. I don't think we have to switch it out if we're just doing a smear campaign. We probably could make our own stuff and distribute it.
Yeah, we can do
Bait
that in
and switch
conjunction
would
with
ensure you have
the
a big
really
audience, though.
with the real big one. Yeah,
What?
Marquis could print that, and we just switch it out. But
We say we have the real ending?
the real E, if they say, as
This
they
is what
say.
we don't want you to know.
The ending the company doesn't want you to know about.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do or anything, but I will say you do know the people who actually put on the performance as well.
True.
Doesn't
It's-
mean they would help you, but you know who they are.
True.
Yeah. I am also a fan of just financially throwing this guy in the gutter.
Oh, always.
Hey, we could do a multi-attack.
Just really destroy his entire ego. Yeah.
Ah.
And maybe blow up his boat too to help curry that.
Destroy his ego by ruining the story that he finances, then destroy his wealth by blowing up his boat, and then, when he's sad and crying, we stab
You
him.
blow up his mind.
Oh, I know how we do it, okay? So
Okay.
we do the story, right? And then we cut the lights and do a microphone check, and we just say, and it was all a dream. People hate that ending.
It's true.
It was
Interesting.
actually all a dream, and none of it mattered. Wow, this joke didn't land.
I mean, I find it's funny.
I was
laughing.
taking a drink. I'm sorry.
Jasper says, I mean, it's just that bad of an ending, you know?
I mean, it seems like the least effort, but highest yield we could do.
You don't have
If
anything.
they buy it.
You don't have anything more targetedly engineered there.
I mean,
And
I
they
do,
all
but
die.
I'm just
They run
saying
the
that's a
game.
really good angle to play.
All right, is this the plan? Ruin the story and therefore make everyone not interested in it
And blow up his boats.
and blow up his boats.
I think the
I
story
also-
part's the main part of it.
I would also like to find out where he's getting his finances from, because obviously he's part of the company, but like he's got to be at least somewhat independently wealthy.
Maybe
Yes,
our
that's
two
true.
stool pigeons could help us with that.
He pays them. I don't know that they would.
Well, they seem to be feeling certain ways, perhaps a little mercy or guilt. If we run into them, we'll have to ask.
All right.
As we're saying all this, we hear a knock at the door, and one of the little pigeons goes, "Can I use the mop? We have a spill over here." Here you go, friend.
Yes, you are having this conversation in the supply closet, as it were. All right, so
Yes.
I'm writing down the plan here. We have ruin the story's reputation, killing interest via a not so good ending, via a terrible ending. So for that, we're looking at either a performance, we're looking at a printed alternate ending, or we're looking at, or I guess those are the two things, right? Either a performance or an alternate ending printed.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
We're also potentially looking at sinking a boat,
Yeah.
and then potentially looking at murder. Does that sound like the
We're always
three-pronged-
looking at murder. Yeah.
All right.
Investigating his assets.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
investigating
Although-
his assets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly,
You do that
probably the
after
best
he's
time to
dead,
do that is
though.
before you sink the boat. Right?
Probably. Make sure that is the worst place to hit him. And if it's not, hit that in addition to the worst place to hit him.
Mhm.
Let's hope the sabotage the play plan doesn't end up in a producer's like situation where it becomes even more popular.
It's been so
You know,
long since I've
what's
seen
going to
it.
happen is you come up with the alternate ending, you make all the rolls to sabotage it, you all roll misses, and that's exactly what happens. It's like, well, you don't
I
get
thought
caught.
we, were
But,
saying we
oops.
write the worst story possible. Turns out it's what the writer also wrote. Oh, we got it all right. Wow.
You write the worst story possible, but everyone takes it as a comedy. Here we are.
Yeah.
All right. That's our rough plan. Are you talking to the Marquis about it? And if you are, how transparent are you being to both parties that the Marquis would be working with the Erie on this one?
Not.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to know that we're working with marquee assets. They just need to know we're doing the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ask how the sausage is made.
Jasper would say, all right then, so what are we telling? What are we telling the Least Lord? That we're going to put on a play to try to... We're gonna try to spoil the story for everyone and try to take out the captain? Really go above and beyond here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the play, that's business, but Captain, that's gonna get a little personal.
All right. Seems like a lot of extra work to me, but fine. Let's do it.
Well, you should have heard our other plan.
I think I did. I was in the room the whole time.
No, we were in the supply closet. We didn't see you there.
Hmm.
We used our indoor voices in there, right, Miffy?
What?
That's right, Miffy.
All right.
Okay.
We have our plan. I assume you're going to head out. You'll tell the Least Lord that you've got a plan and you'll take him up on the job. Right?
Yeah.
we are getting nearish to the end. So here's my proposal for all of you. What if we end here before we start executing on the plan? Next week, I'll come in here with a series, like a montage series of roles, right? And so instead of doing what we just talked through the plan, we have the ideas. I'll fill in some of the details and give you roles next time. Just be like, okay. So for example, you're talking about working with the marquee for the printing press, right? That'll probably be a favor role or a charm role, depending on what you're doing. And so like I'll have that prepared, as well as a couple other ones for getting the venue, getting the performance ready, like that kind of stuff. I'll come up with a couple roles, and we'll just start by executing on the plan that you created today. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Rather than like start it now and get a quarter of the way through it, I feel like that might be the better paced. Plus, good point. Then I can organize them a little bit so it flows well. So if you three have any extra revisions you want to sneak in, feel free to drop it in our Root channel. Between now and then, preferably, when I say between now and then, I mean more like in the next couple days, not in the day before. But it is a tabletop RPG. Wrenches are allowed. So
wrenches.
All right, then I think this is probably a reasonable spot to end. Oh wait, you know what? No, I got one thing to do.
Oh.
We get one little meanwhile cutscene.
Oh.
Once your plan happens. Once your plan happens. Once your planning is concluded, you step out to go talk to the Least Lord to give him, not tell him that you're working with the Marquis, but outline your general ideas towards him and get what support you can. And then our camera leaves the eerie corner of Velox's Bend and heads towards the central area, towards a boat on a river, towards a familiar Captain Oliver Ogden sitting at his desk, penning a letter addressed to a fellow captain. We don't get to see all of the text, but we do get to see four very important words.
Oh no.
She is still alive.
Was that she or he?
That's definitely she is still alive.
Okay. I just... Fine. Okay.
Were they supposed to kill me?
Woo! You can't. Impossible.
Supposed to kill you, or were you supposed to be dead?
Great question.
Beautiful.
I didn't know it was a secret that I was supposed to be dead.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought that's why you weren't being hunted.
Oh, I thought I was just put in prison.
Oh, we'll figure that out later. Bye.
Bye.
No, put us on to closing.
What do you think, viewer?
Yes. Thank you for watching or listening to Root, episode 11. Before we go fully, Amasha, Hambone, either of you got anything coming up next week that you want to talk about, or this weekend?
Like usual, hopefully we get a game of Borderlands 3 with Ezros and Silva Dreamwalker going on Wednesday, and should be having streams throughout the week. Just be sure to follow me on Twitch at Radio Bonaire and on Blue Sky at Radio Bonaire.
What about you, Amasha? Still fishing when you can?
I am so close to finishing the fishing. It's so close I can taste the salt. So I will be continuing that next Wednesday, but I'm going to try and put in a little cheeky stream this Saturday. Not sure. Keep an eye on my channel at Imasha26 on Twitch, and we'll see what happens.
And you are both currently in the title right now, and you are also in the video descriptions if someone comes and watches it later. As for us here at the library, tomorrow night looks to be Monster Hunter Wilds. Nova and I rejoined the hunt. We'll see if Nova has time for a training arc between now and then, but I've certainly been doing some practicing.
I'm so busy.
Yeah, Nova's really busy, so that's okay. Come watch us
Try
stumble
your
through
best.
the early fights.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a barbecue too.
Oh yes, yes, you
Probably.
did want to see
Probably.
the food. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to do that tomorrow as well. That's it for us here tonight at the Liminal Branch Library. We hope you've enjoyed your time here, and we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye and good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good bone.